And these are the, the unholy offspring of the angels and humans.
Is it angels and humans or demons and humans?
Uh, you know, in the earlier books, what's the difference?
Hmm.
I don't think the books really take a stance, because the Watchers are there with good intentions. But I think there's lessons in all of that. That anyone could be corrupted. Certainly, Persian women are pretty enough. So the giants now they're ravaging the world, and they're just making a mess of things. And that's when God decides it's got to stop. We got to start over. And then he wipes it away with the flood. But the Book of Enoch expands on all of that and has Enoch going up to heaven to speak to God. And that's heresy to say, because heaven's not supposed to be a place. Like, mortal man can't go to heaven. It certainly can't come back, but Enoch did. And he was specifically taken there. I think he was taken there by Uriel and taken up there in a chariot of fire. And then Enoch is walking around heaven, but he's describing a place where he's seeing tall beings of light going about their business, and the walls are covered with how he describes as emeralds that are just blinking lights on and off. And he talks about how he can see all of the earth, and he describes how he can see how the winds are made, and I can see every lake and river on the earth. And when you think of heaven, you think of clouds in the sky, but Enoch said that there's a roof, there's a ceiling, and everything is shiny. And what it sounds like he's describing is a spacecraft, if you read the book. Like, if you read the book through a modern lens, it's like, this guy is on a UFO, is where Enoch is. So he's up there, and they take him all around the cosmos. And this is all in the book. He describes the solar system, and he's told the Earth goes around the sun in 364 days, which we weren't supposed to know any of that then in the Book of Enoch. And then he's given a directive from God to go take this message down to the Nephilim and the Watchers that, if you don't get your shit together, it's going to get bad down here. And they ignore the order, and that's when the flood comes. And then only one man is chosen to survive the flood, and that's Enoch's grandson, and that's Noah. And that's where the Noah's Ark story comes from. But it tracks pretty closely with the Anunnaki story and the Cataclysm, and it tracks a little bit with the Epic of Gilgamesh and Utnapishtim and the flood there, and a lot of these other stories.
Wow, that's fascinating.
I think